But you're on the Vermont, right?
Vermont, both sides of Vermont.
Oh, you're both sides of Vermont?
Yeah, yeah.
How far on this side? To Shadow Palace?
No. So
Basically what they're saying,
I cannot cut the street. So you
Can do it. Nicky, come on.
Come on.
Nicky, hold on here. Hold on. Go to the other side. Yeah. Nicky, yeah, you just put your hand here. Come on, you're in
But it falls within the boundaries of what we know as Koreatown. So,
the city recognizes as Koreatown.
well, the city, I don't think it's an official designation, but it is what is commonly known as Koreatown. And so Mr. Lee and the Bangladesh community have gotten together and they've come up with an agreement as to the boundaries.
And this is what let me just explain to you what this is. This is a Preserve America. This is on a federal level. We proposed the grant. We actually received $250,000 grant for 5 communities, which is the Thai, Korea,
Chi-town, Little Tokyo,
Chinatown, and Filipino town. So 5 communities received $250,000. So, but then we're also waiting for actual designation of this area,
right,
which is larger than what we're proposing right now. Actually, if you look at the boundary,
and they started in a little market at Jefferson in Vermont, one spot. And as they migrated up north on Vermont and had greater success, and they were able to buy property, and then pretty soon Olympic Boulevard went from what would be what was in existence before to what its existence is today. And it has stayed there. It hasn't moved away. And then we go further north to Wilshire. Wilshire Center now has transformed between Western St. Andrews east to Virgil in what would be a Korean commerce, as well as other spots. The Bangladeshi community, if you could educate me on your thoughts as far as where do you see your home. And I'm not going to ask anybody to pull out their driver's license, but your home comes from where you live or where you do work or where you preach. We know the Islamic Center of Southern California is on Vermont, and that's a very important institution within Koreatown boundaries, but it is there. So what map do we have that shows, because we don't have the Department of Transportation.
so city, all the map is over imposed right now.
Right. So Commonwealth was originally?
No, we don't know.
No.
Chinatown was where Union Station was.
Right.
Okay, and that's when you go to Chinatown now and you see the sign, New Chinatown?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's New Chinatown. Mm-hmm. They moved there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they moved from that point.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if you can look out to the future that Korean American and those who come will be dominant in the area that they are within there. When we met last, my concern, I think I used the example of the Hungary. The Hungarians have a monument
where Bangladeshi people live. It is between Wilshire towards Hollywood and between Western and Vermont.
Right.
But what...
would you at 3rd Street, and you're in the red light, and there's a 76 gas station there, right? And so,
so it'd be more like the Ralph's,
Ralph's
the
is on
corner.
the other side
right.
of the street.
Yeah.
You're going this way.
Right.
And then you'd see there could be a sign
Mm.
that would say Little Bangladesh,
Yeah.
but an arrow
That way.
pointing
To the Shadow Center.
So to Chateau. You would agree to that?
Yeah, I think...
we got a discussion about that.
well,
For the sign, we never
You would
discussed.
agree to a sign on Vermont?
No, we didn't talk about the sign, never.
On Vermont, on Vermont, Nikki, you have all those...
On the east side of the street.
Yeah, east side of the street.
No, on the
East
west-
side of third.
the west side of on the 5th car back, okay? There's a light post. Sorry there, Mr. Fitzpatrick. There's a light post there. On the light post says Little Bangladesh with an arrow pointing east.
East side.
Okay? So in essence, the sign is in Koreatown.
Right.
This sign. But on Vermont, north and southbound,
Right.
and will be, and possibly on third. No, because this is the main street. It could be blue. It could be blue. Whatever the DOT guys say.
Whatever the DOT says.
Councilman,
I'm a little bit confused.
Right after this?
You're signing the arrow east
take care of these guys. They're here first.
Sure, that's why we're here, Tom. But the question is that, see, if we all agree, Tom, we're going to have a MOU.
One body, one community. And we've had this meeting 3 times already. And when you guys come together, and because we had 3 meetings with you guys already, and I want one of you guys to speak on behalf of your community, because what I heard today again was 2-3 people talking 3 different things. Please come together as one voice, because what your community and our community has agreed on is that you agreed for us to take the lead, and then you agreed on this area for to be. I do not want any other, communications or any other things that you guys are claiming to be. That's been discussed already. If you guys start to talk about this again, then what I want to say is that, you know what? Then go on your own. I'm not going to accommodate you guys. I mean, that's from from just this party here. Okay, I'm not talking
that he's contrary to anything. But again, these people may have some points. They might speak, but again, they might speak. But again, finally, we're going to come to the agreement. That's what we are. I mean,
okay. So then to conclude,
it does not mean their boundary stops in the street itself. It comes up to the property line, facing the Vermont. Like the property Sizzler restaurant. It is on Vermont, but it is also falls in Koreatown, according to him. But when I ask another thing about the Islamic Center, he is ready to change the direction in that area, making it not even direction, to include the Islamic Center into Bangladesh.
So, the west side and east side, coming from 3rd Street to the 5th Street, is Koreatown. All except for the one property which the Islamic Center sits on. And so east of Vermont Avenue, which is the
along the property line,
along Vermont Avenue, after the property line,
except the Islamic Center,
is Little Bangladesh, and then down to Virgil Avenue, and the southerly border is your 5th Street, and the northerly border is running into a few more obstacles, because you just have a little area. Where we have the City 13 in this area, we have City 1 in this area, we have City 4 in the area, we have City 10 in the area, where we're trying to propose where Koreatown is. Yeah. But it is a area that our committee has made a decision on because of all the overlapping references that city makes, the federal government makes, the state makes, and all the even general public refers to Koreatown. So all the information is there. So I think we are making the collectively right decision, to designate where the Koreatown boundary is. So we will propose this, and then Councilman, has indicated, that he didn't see any problems with this. So we'll submit it as this, including the Little Bangladesh area. Now, the Koreatown, I guess I'll just describe on the eastern side. It'll come down from the Melrose down to Beverly. From Beverly, then it jogs. That's on along Normandy Avenue. Then it jogs over to the Vermont along Beverly, and then comes south, including both sides of Vermont, comes all the way down to Worcester. Then it jogs over to Hoover, and from Hoover, jogs along Worcester, and then head south towards Hoover, goes down to Pico, and then it'll come east. So as far as where we butt up against Little Bangladesh is that along Vermont Avenue, but the Little Bangladesh boundary it starts from the property line on the east side of Vermont, and except for the property line of
It's going to be on that side.
Exactly, the arrow or not.
I think that's the issue, the arrow or not, or something that maybe we could all agree on that would satisfy both. Former council member.
This is me. I was the president of the Korean Association. From Koreatown, we started 1981, 82, 2 years. Okay, so what Mr. Lee present the boundary. That boundary, I know that time that the John Farr office, there are some exactly same boundary.